She's performed her poetry around the United States and internationally. She has won grants for teaching poetry to teens. She has competed and done well in several national slam championships. She's been a great part of establishing the slam team in Albany and the slam community in Albany. She hosts a weekly poetry spoken word series called Poetic Vibe at Troy Kitchen, which is very hard to do every single week, and I hear nothing but great things about that. She has her first collection entitled Dreaming in Creole, is a homage to her Haitian heritage and history. Let's give her a huge welcome, D. Colin.
I was planning my route for a while. Good evening.
Good evening.
All right. Get myself together. How you guys feeling?
Blessed.
Good.
Good.
That's good.
Blessed is good.
Seigneur parle, moi pour m'parler, tant que yo écho voix ou même, qui t'aime chercher, même j'encore, petit tout qui, perdu qui seul. Guide, Seigneur, pour qu'à guider, pied mon qui prend mauvais chemin, bon manger pour capable nourrir, mon qui goût. Acclamons-nous qui t'aime, Seigneur, pour me guider, pied mon qui prend mauvais chemin, bon manger pour capable nourrir. Mon qui goûte, acclamons-nous. I dream in a language that feels like home. The words come to mind when I can't find the right ones in English. This language I learned first, the cadence, the dance that sways with my tongue. When I speak Creole, I have the voice of Haiti in my throat, thirsting to tell stories that may never be translatable, but will always end with hope, and for that, they will always be worth telling. They cut the sun's head off in Cité Soleil, Haiti. Poverty bleeds internally there. She lives in the city of the sun, 5 children, husband dead, murdered for supporting Titi. They beat her, they stalk her, they be at her house. She beat them by hiding. She lives in the city of the sun, where she married again. Married a man who raped her daughter, ripped her heart more. 6 children, new baby, no money. She lives in the city of the sun, where water floods her home. Way in the water, her family waits in the water in the city of the sun, where it seldom shines. So turn the sun on its pregnant belly over the horizon, birthing femme haitienne, Haitian women, mountain women. Diamond, Simon, behind the mountains are more mountains. Diamond, Simon, like a million hills rolling before the sun. These women carry resistance in their sweat. They walk in worn shoes, calloused feet, dark skin glistens in the noon sun, veins map their hands, river water pumps through Haiti's dried land as their stomachs empty, sagging breasts like eroded hillsides. The women carry water on their heads, water in their wombs, water off their floors. They are potomitan, center pillars holding a collapsed house while the sun breaks dawn like coconuts cracked open with machetes. These women Bataneb beat back the dark, turn the sun on his pregnant belly over the horizon, birthing a new day. Laugh the women. We are still here, and we run the book. Neighborhood watchers beat water out clothes on rocks, write secret messages in the money, be at water when the sun goes into labor, and you will see her. Ana Kayana, Ana Kayana. Golden flower hangs in the sky. Taino chief thief hangs for trying to negotiate peace with Columbus. These women rest in her story. Burning souls rest in her blazing sun. They cut the sun's head off in Cité Soleil, Haiti. These women birth a new one every day. Mountain women, militant mountains. Diamond Semon, behind the mountains are more mountains. Diamond Semon, like a million hills rolling before the sun. These women carry Haiti in their sweat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, so now I feel like I'm ready. This poem is called Altibonite River. It's from my book, Dreamy and Krill. I have copies with me tonight, by the way, if you're interested. And here we go. Let's see. Okay, so you'll get it as I read it, so I don't need to do like the intro. I watched a 3-year-old swim 10 feet out from where I stood, neck deep in river water. It was worse than watching the kid my age climb the coconut tree, so high I'd get dizzy if it were me. And I had thought to myself, if I tried that, I would be digging my fingers into the bark, my feet still on the ground, like here in the Altibonite River. I was 13, and little Flounder was 3, head dipping and flapping, feet treading water near 3 times higher than him. Suddenly, I felt deprived of skill, wanting to push my head underwater, go out and meet him. But then, he'd be saving me. So I saved him the trouble. Let my toes sink into the soft mud, along with my ego. This poem is from our grandmother, who I feel incredibly close to, even though I never met her. Her name was Anasia. The title of the poem is called Dear Anasia. Did the blue walls miss your touch, grandmother, when you came to visit? Or was it you who missed this little house, crouched on the floor with a rag, your ghost as old as the doors lined with peeling paint? I went to your grave, watched my weeping mother, kneeling down on the soil, the only thing connecting 3 generations this land you return to, never returning, lies underneath us all. I wonder if the chickens pluck your song. I wonder how you knew we would sleep in that small room you used to call your own, on a bed knotted with lumps where you slept years ago. I wish I had been awakened by your steady hand, the sound of your body bent and scrubbing like the sound of my mother's body bent and scrubbing. Was your favorite color blue like the walls? I had hoped my eyes could catch a glimpse of your ghost, the way my mother saw you drawing circles on the walls with your worn rag and tired hands I have no memory of, rubbing your daughter's pregnant belly, your soothing voice saying, "When Papa Sakandam." I wonder about the 7th day of March. Was it as long as the 7 years of a barren womb when they buried you the day I was born? I wonder how you knew destiny would have us meet between life and death to celebrate and mourn, if there were a moment when our 2 worlds could meet, just so we could speak. If there were an instance when we could hear each other's voices, I wonder what we would say. I wonder if you would tell me how it was to birth 12 children and only have 4 of them live long. If the emotion of loss weighed on you so much that you knew the importance of my survival, that maybe because you lost so many, you knew what it was for my mother to lose one and wait 7 years to be pregnant with a dream, I wonder what words you shared, what prayers you prayed with me in your mind. I wonder how you knew you would never see me, gazing longingly at my mother's belly before flying to Haiti, telling her you would not know this baby. I never got in the habit of calling it coincidence, you being buried the day I was born, like some spiritual exchange. I know it was something deeper, your only girl expecting her only child, a girl who would know you in dreams and stories, and the eyelashes and nose I see in mirrors. I would know you in the one picture, black and white, hidden in a suitcase, where I would sneak to see you, run my hand over the old frame, wishing you could talk back. I would know you on my birthday. I would know you through everyone who would say your name, Anasia, when they see how much I've grown, when they say how much you would have spoiled me, and still my heart feels intently that you would have spoiled me with love. The moments like that of worlds colliding are just an aching wish. If it were to happen, I would talk to you like I've known you all my life, sit at your feet, ask you what God is like, let you play with my hair, listen to you laugh and share old proverbs. I will call you grandma out loud, the way I always have in my heart. I would ask you if your favorite color is blue.
Wow.
Alright, so I'm an educator. on top of everything else. I know you laugh because you understand the struggle. So I teach 8th grade ELA. And I wrote this poem on the day of inauguration, leaving work. Well, after I left work, I wrote this poem. And for anyone who doesn't understand the extent of my fear of birds that I mentioned in the poem, if you're ever walking with me in the street and there are birds, I might leave you. I might be standing in the middle of the street. Someone might have to come get me. I might be crying. It's pretty it's pretty bad. It's because a bird, actually, I was just minding my own business at a bus stop, really minding my own business with a bug in my hand. And a bird really came for me, came at my face, and I had to do one of these. And then the bird circled around and then came at my face again. So anyway, I've been traumatized. So I just want to give some context to the extent of my fear that I mentioned in the poem, so you can understand what this, how heavy this is. But okay. So yes, I wrote this on the day of inauguration. Maya Angelou has a poem called On the Pulse of Morning that she recited at Bill Clinton's inauguration. And the title of this poem is called On the Pulse of Ancestors. Today, I looked at the sky. I heard the call of crows, black-winged and flying on a warm January afternoon. They give me pause when I leave work. I become keenly aware of my pulse. When my heart stops, I believe I will feel it, and there will be a bird pecking at its last beat. I have never known peace at the sight of beaks and the sound of crows, flocks flocking together, organizing like they are also in protest, like they will march across a DC sky tonight to prepare for tomorrow. For years, I have been afraid of birds, the trauma, the flinch in my eyes if they are too close, the well of tears, the clench of my fists, the flight, the swift movement of my feet in safety's direction. But today, the crows call my name, made me turn my face to look up, welcome their terror as an ally, an omen of change. I should have cried, trembled like a child at winter air's mercy. But today I breathed. Today, the crows came by the hundreds like ancestors come to fill me with their pulsing histories, like a meeting of souls come to teach wakefulness to survive. Their wings weep across my heart like a widow in mourning, numbed by open caskets. And I know this ride home ain't no regular home going. I will grieve, stone death with my best shot, sing a new song of freedom to the call of crows, gathering to send messages from the other side. I will be walking with ghosts, with fists in the air. I should have been afraid, but today I felt nothing less than my pulse. I am alive, and history needs me. All right. How you feeling? Good. Okay. I want to make sure you're still there. You're awake. Okay. All right. I hope nobody is a fan of the current president.
Nope. Definitely not me.
Let's do this then. All right, so you know the catchphrase is "Make America Great Again." So anyway, it just troubles me. Like, I'm just trying to understand what that means. And so I wrote this. I think it's a poem. It might be an essay. But I'm just gonna read it. When America was great, the buffalo in all their glory, proud mammals that they are, must have known that even then, before the West was filled with states, that they would at the very least, die with dignity. That every part of them would be used. That it was an honor. That the code, the circle of life would be honored. Like the lessons taught to Simba were cross-cultural, immune to race and color, and breathe that the land, the connection to it, the music inside the soil would always sing to the people, and the people would hear it. Perhaps now, the buffalo are rolling in their graves, if of course there is anything left of their skeletons to roll. But America was great once. Back when tea bags cast over ships told the British off like a neck roll and a long sucking of the teeth. Or maybe that is too colorful a comparison. Maybe it was more like a 2-year-old tantrum. Mine, like a child's way of ownership. Owning things that no one in their 2 years of life would know how to own, but knew ownership by piercing the word through the air, mine, and then destroying it all. If I can't have it, no one can. When is it that we learn power? When do we become greedy? When is it that our needs supersede another's? How is it that we birth oppression? Does it feed from our own breasts? Would we call it murder if we decided oppression wasn't fit to live, to sit next to us at the table? You know that table everyone is trying to sit at? Who made that table anyway? I digress. America was great. That time when it occupied Haiti, that time when it occupied the Dominican Republic, that time when it occupied Nicaragua, that time when it occupied Cuba, that time when it occupied Somalia. America was great during the Civil War, when America was bipolar, torn between two sides. To nigger or not nigger, did you think this was about cotton? America was mourning over not niggering ever since. America was great when new ways to nigger were invented. America was great when Sally Hemings was Thomas Jefferson's mistress, when Sojourner Truth was still Isabella Bonfrey and learned to read and write, when Kunta Kinte didn't have to change his name to, what was it again? America was great when Martin Luther King lived a long life and Malcolm X saved his grandson from murder after cheating his own death. Brown versus Board of Education actually meant equal education, which meant equally allocated funds, which meant black neighborhoods matter. You mean all neighborhoods matter? When America was great, prisons were turned into schools and we became the most educated country in the world. 2,145,100 people were rehabilitated, restored to a normal life in America's greatness. When America was great, Langston Hughes changed the title of his poem, I Too, to I Am. I am America. I am America. I was always America, right? So naturally, when the president says, make America great again, the operative word being again, because greatness was lost somewhere in America's history and he's the one to bring it back. When the president says, make America great again, he must be talking about raising the buffalo from the dead. He must be saying give the land back. He must be honoring the legacy of the natives. He must be talking about reparations. He must be talking about time travel. He must be talking about Africans not being imported like a cash crop. He must be talking about demolishing walls instead of building them. He must be talking about justice, social justice, educational justice, political justice, economic justice. He must be talking about justice. Damn. He must be submitting his resignation. Right? Right? Just saying. Tell him how I really feel. Okay, I got a couple more poems for y'all. And I haven't actually like read poems in a while. You know, been like doing poems that I've memorized, and this is really nice to just read some poems, you know?
Not get scores.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this. Okay, so I have a couple more poems, and let's see. Oh, I lost my page. Sorry. Okay. I talk to myself sometimes. Don't mind me. I just said okay. It's a whole conversation that just happened. All right. So I have this poem. It's called "For Every Black Woman Who's Been Called Angry." Because I'm black, you know, and I'm angry now about our current administration. So, you know, there's things to be angry about anyway. But it's interesting to like be in that space where you have to try to not be perceived as the angry black woman. You know? You feel me?
I feel you, sister.
So and the people around you aren't always aware that you are trying to, you know, walk in this space to not be perceived as the angry black woman, even though you might have real legitimate reasons to be angry. Okay, so this is for every black woman who's been called angry. I've been trying not to be an angry black woman. Make sure I smile a little in public. Seems like the understanding is that our facial expressions do not lend to other emotions, that the fear is we stay ready to start our commotion just because. Like there are no reasons to be black, a woman, and angry at the same time. So don't you know on most days I turn my smile into a protest, but the rest is a crooked upwards battle. I've been trying to rise like Maya Angelou's dust every time there's some bitter twisted lies. Been trying to be black girl magic without a spell to conjure over this hurt, this pain, this rolls up thunder pressed between my ears. I've been trying to sew invisibility cloaks to drape around my children for protection, only to find out they invisible already, without protection. I've been trying to tell my daughters to not be angry, that sass might get you sassed, that kissing the pavement ain't better than going home. They will say you had too much attitude. Refuse to see your smile pressing through from behind your teeth, the world on your shoulders like the mule you are. They will wonder how you made it anyhow, how somehow they haven't killed you yet, being angry and all. And ain't that the point? That Harriet Tubman had to be an angry black woman, that Sojourner Truth had to be an angry black woman, that Assata Shakur had to be an angry black woman, that Fannie Lou Hamer had to be an angry black woman, that Rosa Parks had to be an angry black woman, that Shirley Chisholm had to be an angry black woman, that Ida B. Wells had to be an angry black woman, that Coretta Scott King had to be an angry black woman, that Betty Shabazz had to be an angry black woman. And ain't that the point? That I have every right to be angry about our trees cut down and the roots left there naked in the sun, about history being his story one too many times, about the corrections to my language when my tongue was already cut out, about gentrification, about discrimination, about appropriation of my culture, my body, my colloquialism, about bullets spraying like like a carnival game on victims with no weapons, about being called everything but my name, Mammy, Jezebel, Ratchet, bitch, about the prison industrial complex, about this reflection someone put in the mirror that ain't my own. I have every right to break the glass. This anger ain't yours to police, ain't yours to cage up like a bird, ain't yours is the point. I've been trying not to be an angry black woman. Truth is, I ain't trying no more. And you gonna be glad one day. I said you gonna be glad one day. I was angry enough to change the world.
Yes.
All right, so short poem. Why I'm a poet. 7 reasons why I'm a poet. Because it is the language. Start over. All right, 7 reasons why I am a poet. If you didn't know, 7 is my favorite number because I was born on a 7, and you heard that whole poem about my grandmother. So anyway, 1. Because it is the language I speak in when words fail me otherwise. 2. Because the little girl, the 11-year-old, who wrote a poem for the first time, I remember her. She speaks to me. Her voice is sacred. Her imagination, limitless. 3. Because why wouldn't I be a poet? Sounds like why wouldn't I breathe? 4. Because poetry saves me like God, like a baptism, like a heaven I visit every time I pick up a pen to pull my hell out of hell. 5. Because love lives here. 6. Because this is me dreaming out loud. Because my justice, my vulnerability, my her story, my closeted secrets, my wishes, my whispers need volume. The sound turned up so I can hear who I am. 7. Because somebody besides me needs this. Like I need this. Like breathing. Because we can breathe together. Because we can breathe together.
Amen.
Thank you. If you're ever in Troy, please come to Troy Kitchen for Poetic Vibes every Monday at 7. And I have copies of my book, Dreaming in Creole. So come and see me.